Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. The live event to mark the end of Chapter 2 Season 2 is so close, it's Saturday. To get you ready, I've compiled every single map, change and story beat the season has thrown up to get you in the know. No story theories here, only facts. So slap code ADAMARU in the store to support this madness and think about subscribing too. And let's go through 15 weeks in one video. Oh, quick question. Where are you going to stand for the event? I was thinking of the agency, but now I'm thinking risky reels so I can see everything. It's a tough choice. What are your plans? Week 1! Can you remember the start of the season? Way back in February 2020, we saw the Ego and Alter squads become the Ghost and Shadow units, due to the theme of undercover agents and that tagline, Top Secret. The agency was erected on the central island, led by the tier 100 skin Midas. His mini-bosses were also given brand new locations around the map. Meowsles could be found at the yacht, Brutus was given the grotto, TNTina, a demolitions expert, set up home at the oil rig. Yeah, that's not going to end well. And Sky could be found at the shark's lair. On top of that, AI-controlled outposts could be found all over the island, including the house in the middle of the lake, which was finished on day 1 of this season. Also note that Graham the Gnome's Radio Shack got a facelift, another henchman hotspot. Graham stayed safe, so don't worry too much about our Lord and Saviour. Another renovation to the house above Holly Hedges had a similar change to make it into an outpost. On the first day of the season, the chair truck, which could be found at the docks, finally moved. Little did we know how important this moment was. At the same point, a logjam pallet truck began to travel in the opposite direction. 10 weeks later, things got real. We'll get to that very soon. Surprisingly, a box factory appeared near the redacted bunker. It was confusing, but once again, it would end up being very important. Over in Retail Row, 2 offices sprung up, one for Ghost, one for Shadow, vying for our attention and help taking down the opposition. As well as things that were added, some things were taken away. Remember all the Ego outposts from Season 1? Well, they're all gone. They're all demolished. Done and dusted, as they say. One of the strangest map updates saw a police chase end in a wreck. Just outside Sweaty Sands, you can see a speed trap, complete with donuts for the cops. Oh, and there's a cabin in the wood now, it just suddenly appeared. We didn't have to wait long for this story to begin. Behind the bookcase was a secret door to an underground lair. The real villain of Chapter 2 was spotted. Our community dubbed him Nick Furry. Get it? In the basement, the bears were plotting to take over Graham the Gnome's empire, imprisoning Graham's twin brother no less. And yes, the community named him too. Gandalf, Keemstar, Jerome, the Genome. I really need to stop letting you guys name things. Who am I kidding? I love that rubbish. Let's do more of that crap. Week 2 is here. Oh, nothing happened. Fortnite moved to a Fortnite update schedule. Fortnight. See you next week. Week number 3. The chair truck continued to move this week, now turning into Retail Row, and the pallet truck has reached the outskirts of Misty Meadows. Here's an update I bet you all forgot. The addition of helipads. The first one popped up at Graham's and another in the mountains too. And more in the works, judging by these windsocks found around the island. Oh, a massive, monumental change occurred over at Tony Stark's. The Iron Man moved his head. Slightly. Yeah, it's a tiny change. I love tiny changes. Another one happened over at Ferris Bueller's house, as his once fallen Ferrari has now been lifted by a crane. But those footings don't look trustworthy to me. This week was also the first time the community decided on the allegiance of one of Midas's cronies. Brutus, found down at the grotto, turned to the Shadow team. His location has changed to suit with this awesome skull design like a Bond bad guy. How cool is it that we choose how things adapt and change in-game? I bloody love it. Also, I should note that all around the map, files and suitcases and postboxes and posters could be found, all relating to challenges for Ghost and Shadow missions. But the big one that made me gasp was at the agency. The meeting room in which Midas sits upon his golden chair was missing. Who could have done such a thing? Well, a canoe was spotted stealing the golden throne and escaping across the lake to a hidden getaway vehicle. More on that very soon. Week 5 has arrived. The chopper was added this week. I have a shiny pink chopper to impress the ladies. Helipads all over the map were completed, and the hidden chopper spot underneath the football pitch at Pleasant Park was revealed. Pretty damn cool. Week 5 saw the change to the rig. Something went very wrong. The demolitions expert somehow blew up the entire oil rig. Who would have seen that coming, eh? This place was now a shadow location, and luckily the room with the old Fortnite memorabilia has survived. Happy days. Tina though is now officially a shadow agent. But what have you done, Tina? Look at this oil spill. Back to the golden chair stolen from the agency. This week the chair has been stowed away on the getaway vehicle, and the culprit is currently racing through Salty Springs. And speaking of chairs, a quick update on the chair and pallet trucks. They are a little bit closer this week. And the crane at Ferris Bueller's house? Well, yeah, it fell off into a heap. And back then, I said this. I hope we see another bigger crane built to pull this crane out. Let's see how that prediction pans out. More tiny updates this week as the Iron Man has begun to hike around the island. An awesome touch to note is that he has a walking stick. Where could he be going? Oh, and this was the week we got loadouts in Fortnite, only 16 months after they were said to be coming. Whoop whoop! Week 7 is here. Down by the agency, 5 missile silo looking objects could be found in the water. The hatches remained closed, but we could see some sort of purple juices from Kevin the Cube were found inside. We all knew this was important, so we'll have to wait until the end of season event. Inside the agency, remember Midas's lost chair? Well, look now, he's got a substandard desk chair to replace it. Bad times, bro. The person who ran away with the golden seat has raced back to his home, and now the chair is upstairs in his bedroom. If you're unsure if the thief likes Midas, look in the trash outside. Nope, not a fan. Oh, and back to the crane at Ferris Bueller's house. Well, my prediction came true. The crane fell, and now a bigger crane has arrived to sort out this mess. There's actually so much metal here now that this could be a really good landing spot. Campsites sprang up this week on the island for a challenge, and they looked a lot like Pokemon campsites. And to add to that video game reference, multiple swords in stones could be found everywhere. Very much like King Arthur's Fable, or maybe The Legend of Zelda. This week, it became apparent that the crashed plane site is slowly being taken back by nature, and these little crustacean fungus things, cute buggers, are taking the island too. Oh, and some parts of the plane have been stolen now and can be found in Pleasant Park. I have no idea the importance of that. On the other side of the island, the Iron Man, the man of pipes, continued to walk on his journey, and we began to guess where he could be going, as there's a mess of pipes very close to him right now. Down in the Secret Bear Misfit base, the Teddy overlords are hoarding honey. And as we all learned at school, honey is a gnome's favourite food. And just outside, the gnome army were keeping a close eye on this location, ready to attack.
Crazy mother...
Week 8! Week Deadpool! It finally happened. The merc with a mouth arrived in Fortnite and immediately took over the yacht. He replaced everything, throwing his underwear around to prove he owns the place, and adding chimichangas and changing Midas's statue too. He even set up a PC gaming streamer room so he could cry about aim assist. Good times. Another great touch was that the update to the map, which included Deadpool's own art sketches. In fact, he paints an awful lot. Remember when we wondered why the box factory was added this season? Well, the yacht was the answer. After Deadpool took over it, Meowsles was forced to leave, finally setting up home at the box factory. He even cried to show his plight. Bad times, bro. Week 9! Let's get over to Lazy Lake. The No Sweat Insurance building has arrived. We had this in Chapter 1, and it could survive a natural disaster. I mean, it ate a lava ball to the face and still stuck around. Now in Chapter 2, the No Sweat Insurance Company have begun to place signage around the island, either protecting the POIs or marking them for destruction. I guess we'll find out very soon. A little Easter egg and potential hint towards Season 3 content could be found at the No Sweat building. Small pieces of posters could be located, suggesting a flood. I wonder. Over at Risky Reels, we could now watch TV shows. They were dreadful. But on the plus side, there was bright pink teddies to take around the island with you. Let's go back to the two trucks racing towards each other at breakneck speeds. Well, in Week 9, they have finally collided. Pallets and chairs thrown everywhere. But wait, what is that at the foot of the hill? Could this be the return of Hutwatch? Let's check back next week. Over to the Gnome versus Teddy war. Look what happened this week. The Gnomes have taken the bunker, freeing their comrade and capturing the bears. Take that, Nick Fury. But the biggest change this week came at the Shark POI. The location was converted into a prison. The ego flags remained, so it's safe to say we all voted for Sky to be in the Ghost Squad. Up here, we can see a breakout attempt and even a basketball court. But further north is where the interesting thing is. A singular prison, away from everyone else. Whoever this one is for must be ultra evil. But who will it be? I know I said no theories in this video, but I'm really hoping that Midas will be stuck in there next season. All season. Week 9 also saw a key change down at the rig. The skin in the cabinet was replaced with this. The only place we'd seen this before is in Midas's personal chambers. Another hint towards the event? Step aboard the hype train, my friend. Week 10! The end of the season! No, it's not the end of the season. The season will continue another 5 weeks, but that's okay. That's okay. Week 10 is here. Let's do this. Far away in the sky, we could see a meteorite, kinda like the one in Chapter 1. And then it all became clear. A concert would happen later in the week, thanks to posters found around the island. To compound this, a stage began to be built between the Coral Islands. When the time came, we realised the stage wasn't even needed because Travis Scott is far taller in real life than I expected. We relived every story beat from Chapter 1, and I watched it 5 times. It gave me goosebumps every time. Sorry. It was seriously so damn good though. Here's my 10-second review without any of his music. He went boom and then danced a bit and had a walk around, then splosh, and then we did some sliding around, and then we flew a bit, and then it went bang and it all finished. Yeah, it was great. It was really good. I should be a reviewer, but I probably should move on because Marshmallow might be watching. Week 11 arrived, and with it came confirmation that Hutwatch is back. When I started this stupid word, I was simply looking for content for a video, and now it's in the game's code. We've come a long way, baby. Thank you so much if you've ever said Hutwatch in your life. To confirm, the 2 trucks crashed into each other, they spilled their loads, and at the foot of the hill, something is being erected. It's gonna take a long time for this to be finished, but come on, we need the Hutwatch stinger right now. Ooh, tingles. Now let's get back to the Golden Chair story, which was taken from Midas's agency to a house in Salty Springs. And look now, the weight of the chair has smashed through the ceiling. I guess it was real gold and not painted. Man, there was a lot more updates this season than I remember. Back over at the Gnome Teddy story, and the teddy bears escaped their incarceration. And in-game, the war was moments away from beginning. Luckily, we were there to disarm them all, and hopefully a more civilized resolution will be coming. We shall see. And finally this week, the story of the pipe man, Tony Stank. Yeah, I like that name. Well, the story stopped. The Iron Man now sits down looking out to sea again. He's very chilled. He's probably keeping to social distancing rules. So let's leave him be. Week 14! After 3 weeks of absolutely nothing at all happening in Fortnite, Week 14 came to the rescue. The most important thing was Hutwatch and the cleanup going on there. It's only small steps forwards, but progress is here. I'll keep you posted. I mean, it's got a window. This is a result for all of us. Speaking of results, let's check in on the feud. And wow, the Teddies and the Genomes have made peace. The pen really is mightier than the sword. I'm expecting this story to continue next season. They'll either fall out again, or maybe this union will bring us all a new world order. Week 14 brought us a weird cloud above the agency. It's almost a complete ring circling above, kinda like the start of a hurricane, which would link into the flood hinted at last week with the No Sweat building. Our lobby screens were the next thing to be impacted this week as Midas's room changed in the background. His doomsday weather machine looks imminent, and the power supply supporting it looks important too. I wonder if it has anything to do with the woman in the picture. Week 15, the very last week of Chapter 2 Season 2. What a journey this has been. The live event is almost here. The key things to note this week are bubbles at the agency. The nuclear silos have stopped glowing purple and now bubble away under the surface. This activity is replicated in Midas's room with the Doomsday device now a rave of activity. This looks like it's going to blow up. so be careful where you stand for the event. Around the island, puddles began to be found and breaks in the soil too. Are these linked to the event? At this point, here's a random suggestion. A dynamic weather system in Season 3. Maybe one game will have a flood and another will be a drought and all the water will be gone. That sounds epic. Sign me up, epic. Some people have also said that the river speeds have changed, but I couldn't prove that. But if they are, good spot, you people. Anyway, have a great time at the event. I hope one of you is able to build Hutwatch before the device is triggered. I'll be keeping an eye out for your builds. I'll be back with a cinematic view of the event this Sunday, and maybe a few secrets about the device you didn't know. A huge thanks to those people on screen right now who kindly used code ADAMARU in the Fortnite shop. It honestly blows my mind that you've stuck with me for so long. Thank you. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time.